is Kyle Busch one of the greatest drivers of all time? And I want to give a shout out to my buddy Eric Estep, who made an excellent video, which is on YouTube, about this. It's on his show, Out of the Groove. So if you enjoy what I'm talking about here, I highly recommend going and checking out his site, because a lot of these statistics I'm going to be talking about, I actually took from his video. So I want to make sure to give him a shout out before I go any further. Kyle Busch just got his 52nd career truck win. He is now the most winning driver in the Truck Series history, and he also is the most winningest Xfinity Series driver of all time with 92 wins. And all together with his Xfinity, his Cup Series, and his Truck Series wins, he's now at 159 wins, edging really close to Richard Petty. And Eric Estep in his video broke down winning percentages. For instance, in the Truck Series, he had 146 starts and now has 52 career wins. That's a winning percentage of 36%. To put that into comparison, the previous record holder, Ron Hornaday, only had a 14% winning percentage in the Truck Series, and he previously held the record. Kyle Busch's Xfinity win percentage is 27%. To compare that with some of the other drivers, Mark Martin had 21%, Brad Keselowski, he only had 15%, and Harvick, the guy probably most compared with Kyle Busch, only had 14%. Now looking at win percentage, in the Cup Series he has 10%. Rusty Wallace, who had 55 wins, just above Kyle Busch, his win percentage was only at 8%. And Darrell Waltrip, a Hall of Famer, somebody widely considered to be one of the best drivers of all time, he had 84 wins. But he drove in more than 300 races. And he also had 10%, just like Kyle Busch. And finally, Dale Earnhardt, a driver who is widely considered one of the best drivers of all time, he had a win percentage of 11%. But the problem there lies his lack of championships. He only has one. And of all the other drivers that we tend to consider the greatest of all time, most of them have multiple championships. Which brings us back to the argument, is Kyle Busch's 200 wins comparable to Richard Petty's? He had 200 wins, which is incredible, but he also had 7 championships. That being said, there is still plenty of time for Kyle Busch to prove that he is top 5 greatest drivers of all time if he can get some more championships. And although he's never going to reach Richard Petty's 200 wins in the Cup Series, I think if he got 1 or 2 more championships, the argument would be a lot more sustainable.
Hello, come right in.